totally autonomous, financially, administratively, and operationally, and develop its own systems and policies and procedures.
When Yemen set about the challenge of reducing poverty in 1997, predating the Millennium Development Goals, it faced a monumental task. 4,000 separate projects across the country were submitted for inclusion. The question was what to prioritize.
People are in need in a lot of basic services. So when we started the program by running an exercise of identifying needs and prioritization with the communities, and that we managed to do with both men and women, but of course each separately. So we had a group of women working with women, social workers, and men working with men, and they prioritized. Prioritization came up with needs like water, safe drinking water.
Yemen is mostly desert, dry, hot and humid. Water is a priority, and with limited access to safe drinking water, it was an obvious place to start. It's a key way of helping the rural poor. The villagers of Al-Luhayr in the mountains, 2 hours from the capital, live typically isolated lives in a harshly arid landscape. Rainwater collection meant hours of hard work. Every day, the women from the villages had to carry heavy loads of water from old, dirty, contaminated cisterns. In 2002, the villagers here successfully built a new pipeline to 3 new cisterns and refurbished the old ones. They also provided 10% of the costs. The development program provided the rest. The end result is a real benefit to the life of the village. It has a renewable and sustainable system of clean water. It also freed the villagers from the daily grind of water gathering. On the dry Yemeni plains, there's little rain. Here, costly old diesel engines pump up a limited supply of groundwater into tanks. Having a guaranteed constant supply of water is vital to the farmer's self-sufficiency and production of cash crops. It's also the only local source of drinking water. Each day, the main role of the local girls from each nearby village is to spend hours carrying water to their homes on donkeys. But water is just one project here. There's a combination approach to development.
Instead of having one project, we have an integrated number of projects to improve people's lives. The integrated number of projects in the development went through a number of stages. The implementation starts preparing the choice of possibilities. We then select the most appropriate idea.
People there are not landowners, however they work, they work in agriculture, but they work on others' lands, and they get paid for the labor, either paid or get part of the crop. So they share the crop with the land owners. It is a community where illiteracy is quite high. Children enrollment rate is very, very low, especially among girls. So it is a community where economic potential is very little because people don't own the land.
Al-Awla is one of 3 closely knit village communities in this region that are involved in combining water, health and education projects. Mustafa and Sahir are responsible for coordinating the work between the 3 villages. The development fund pays the bulk of the costs, but it is the villagers' project. They're providing their labour and their materials. The water tower in Al-Awla is nearing completion, and the main water pump is being installed. This pipeline will bring stability and significant long-term economic benefits to the villages.
اعتمادهم اعتماد كلي على الزراعة بالنسبة لهم كانت هي الشيء الأساسي.
People here rely on agriculture, and it's the basic means of income. And because there is less water in the area, this has had a bad effect on agriculture. There is less agriculture, causing high unemployment among men and women, and this increases the number of poor. This directly affects women who are now working on the farms, collecting water, feeding animals, rather than getting an education. That applies to women and girls, and they suffer from a lack of skills to help their husbands or their homes.
من عدم وجود حرفة معينة يعني تساعد فيها زوجها أو تساعد فيها بيتها